All right, let's bring in, switching gears to some of the politics of the week. Our powerhouse panel of the day, former Lieutenant Governor of the state of New York, New York Post columnist and Newsmax contributor, and I'm sure she's got 3 or 4 other titles too. Betsy McCoy, constitutional and civil rights attorney Amir Benno, and Project 21 National Advisory Board member Christopher Arps. Good morning to all of you, and certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to all of the folks that are in the path of the storm and have already been affected by this very, very dangerous weather. But I want to move on for the moment to some of the other stories that we've been following here at Newsmax this week. More COVID madness. New York Governor Kathy Hochul making a new rule in New York State. Take a listen.
I today am announcing that we are enacting a statewide indoor mask mandate unless a business has a vaccination mandate.
Yeah, Hochul saying this is going to go into effect this Monday, December 13th. It will be reevaluated in January. Betsy, as of yesterday, the WHO has said that no one has specifically died of the Omicron variant. We have no evidence that this is more dangerous or more virulent than any other variants that we've been living with. Yet, she's not going to be the last to put in these types of preemptive strikes, preemptive restrictions. Your thoughts on this?
Well, she's playing politics, unfortunately, with a virus and with the lives of all of us. And it's a real kick in the head to New York City. In New York City, only 28% of workers are back in the office, one of the lowest percentages in the nation. And the new mayor-elect of New York City, Eric Adams, spoke at a luncheon on Thursday. I was there, and what he did was to urge all business people in the city to bring their employees back. The city is dying because nobody's there to go to work, to go to the magazine store, to go to the restaurant. And Kathy Hochul is really literally killing New York City with this mandate. I can talk to people who are watching us this morning who may be planning to bring their families with kids to New York City. Between Hochul's mask mandate and what Mayor de Blasio has done, requiring that children as young as 5 get vaccinated before they're allowed into a restaurant or movie theater in New York City, means don't bring your family to New York City. That's the sum total of it.
Yeah, they're gonna crater the city for sure if this actually holds. But that's the question, Amir. When you talk about the mask mandate in particular, where you say that if you're unvaccinated, you have to wear a mask. If you are vaccinated, you don't. Is there a 14th Amendment equal protection issue there, perhaps, from a legal standpoint?
Well, there possibly could be. There could be. I don't know, equal protection so much. Maybe it's a substantive due process, But there's the fact of the matter is in Pennsylvania, just yesterday, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania struck down that state's mask mandate, saying that it went beyond the bounds of what the government was allowed to do, whether it was under the U.S. Constitution or under state law. And the same holds true in New York. They are using this emergency declaration when there's no emergency. There's 20 Omicron cases in New York. There's no imminent risk. There's no imminent danger.
Right.
And they're circumventing the due process that normally, and the normal legislative process of getting these things done. And that's just a usurpation of power by the executive that should be challenged.
Yeah, and I think that we're going to continue to see this using Omicron as an excuse, even though they've all gotten out in front of the science. I want to keep the discussion going on New York because, again, something else that's happening there, we could be seeing other places around the country. New York City lawmakers driving a trend that may mean more non-citizens voting. They approved a measure on Thursday granting 800,000 non-citizens the right to vote in local elections. Christopher, you're the president of the group Americans for Citizen Voting, and you actually sent a letter to New York City this week saying, hey, don't do this. You tweeted this out. You said about a poll done for your organization showing the majority of New York City's likely voters are against non-citizens voting. You stress you're not against immigrants, but feel people should become citizens before they're allowed to vote. Talk to us about this.
Exactly. We did a poll of New York City voters between December 5th and December 6th, and it's overwhelming across all demographics, all political ideologies that they were against this. 61% of New York City voters were opposed to this. 33% were in support of this. Like I said, we are for immigrants. We know that immigrants have built this country, but we just feel that if you want to participate in our democracy, that you should first become a citizen first. And this is a growing movement all around the country. This is happening in Los Angeles, San Francisco, in Georgia, in Maine, where these local municipalities are giving non-citizens the right to vote. And
Yeah.
we think it's clearly unconstitutional.
Okay.
And let me jump in and say
real
yes,
quick, Betsy, because I have to go to break. Go ahead. Real quick.
Yes, in New York, Article 2, Section 1 of the New York State Constitution gives only citizens the right to vote. It's very clear it is unconstitutional, and yet the outrage is that the mayor says, knowing full well that it's illegal, he's going to sign it anyway.
All right. I want to thank our panel. We're going to see you at the top of the hour. A lot more to talk about.